All right, so we are with Lululemon Ambassador Jen Zanders, and she teaches yoga at All People and Flourish. Jen, how did you get started into yoga and fitness?
Yoga, I started about 15 years ago, and I was traveling and driving 3,000 miles a month at my job, and I was having a lot of physical issues from the driving, between tight hips and neck and shoulder problems. So I kind of started my fitness routine because I was falling apart at a very early age, and then yoga became part of it, as originally just for the physical parts. And then I noticed that once I started practicing regularly, that not only did I physically feel better, I started to mentally feel better. And so then that was kind of the beginning of it.
What propelled you to want to become a yoga instructor?
It was such a profound change in my life, and became such a part of who I was, that it just seemed like the best thing I could do would be to share it with people. And so really when I started teacher training, I didn't know if I would teach or not. I did it for me just to go deeper into my practice and to my study and integrate it more in my life. And then once I did, it just was the next progression. It just kind of happened on its own.
Very cool. What or who inspires you? It could be current inspirations or former inspirations.
Goodness. I don't know, so many different things. My children inspire me immensely. Their wisdom and their willingness to approach everything with a fresh eye, and I don't know, my kids are probably my biggest teacher. That would probably be, but I try to find inspiration in everything.
Have you maybe had a yoga student over time that you've seen just such a drastic change that maybe has either come to your class regularly, or you saw them initially and then later down the road you've seen such an immense change in them?
Oh, absolutely. I have a student recently who kind of started coming occasionally once a month, and then she started coming regularly, and she never said anything, and she just kind of snuck in. And after some time, she started to open up with some of the other students, and I kind of would overhear what was going on. And she was going through, later I realized she was going through some job transition and lots of stress, and she actually thought that she had kind of bombed a big important interview. And so we talked that day, and when I told her that it wasn't it, because she said I really messed up, and I said, you didn't mess up. You don't know, you didn't mess up. And she couldn't grasp it, and I just got a note from her because she's moved, and she moved last week, and she just said that that was really pivotal for her. So it's just, I'm inspired by other people's transformation and their dedication and their willingness to grow as well. It's always a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely. With our culture at Lululemon, we talk a lot about goals. One term we use is BHAG, which is big, hairy, audacious goals. Talk about maybe some goals that you've reached at some point in your life, and maybe some goals that you have for the future as well.
I may need to think about this one.
we can come back to that one after. We can come back to that one after the class. That's fine.
Think about it.
Another thing we part of our culture is we talk about the attitude of gratitude, just being gracious for everything that's part of us. Part of me is the fact that I get to come to these classes for free. That Lululemon allows me to do that. What kind of things are you grateful for in your life?
Oh my goodness. We could spend an hour or the rest of our life talking about the list of what we're grateful for. Sometimes it's as simple as just this breath, because without it, we're nothing. So, I don't know, it could go on forever, but I'm grateful to have found this practice and to be able to share it, really. That probably sums it all up.
What makes you smile? What makes you happy? What makes you laugh?
My husband makes me laugh all the time. He's hysterical. And what makes me smile? I love a sunny day. And I love the heat. Shocking, I know. So I don't know. I try to, even when I'm having a bad day, find something to laugh at or to smile, even if it's maybe not as genuine at the beginning, but eventually it gets there. So.
All right, we'll go ahead and wrap for there. We'll get a couple more.